Well, hello everybody and welcome to Chef's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making brownie butter cake. Now I saw a recipe, or in fact I saw a couple of recipes for this online, and I checked a few photos on Pinterest and such like. And basically it's a layer of chocolate brownie topped with a layer of butter cake, and it's baked in a loaf tin. Now most of the recipes called for a loaf tin of 4 inches by 8 inches, which is not a size that I have or that's even common in the UK. £2 loaf tins tend to be slightly larger than that, and they vary in size as well. Some are narrower and slightly longer, some are wider and such like. So I've chosen a £2 loaf tin, 900 gram loaf tin, that has edges which are not quite so sloped as some of them. And I've adjusted the recipe to fit the increase in volume that would be required for that loaf tin. And it's quite a simple recipe and should taste very good. For the ingredients I have 180 grams, which is about 6 1/4 ounces of dark chocolate. I have 65 grams of butter, which is 4 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons. I have 65 grams of soft light brown sugar, which is about 5 tablespoons. 45 grams of plain flour, which is also 5 tablespoons, and here I have 65 grams of egg which I've beaten. Basically for the entire recipe, including the butter cake, I'm going to use 4 eggs, and what I did was I broke the 4 eggs, medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. I broke them into a bowl and whisked them, and then I took 1/3 out, which is 65 grams for the brownie, and I kept the other 2/3, 130 grams, for the butter cake. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to melt our butter and our chocolate. So I'm going to put those into a pan and melt them and let them cool a little bit. Then I'll come back and go on to make the brownie. Well, our chocolate is melted and I'm letting it cool down just a little bit. Now I have my oven preheating at 180 Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. And I'm going to put my soft brown sugar into the chocolate mix, and I'm going to mix that around. Just to get that mixed in. And then I'm going to add the 65 grams of egg as well and mix that in. That's fine like that, and into that I'm going to put 45 grams of flour and mix that until that's all combined. And with that combined, I'm simply going to pour that into the loaf tin. And I'm going to push it into the corners. Give a scrape down to my spatula, and then I'm going to just give the pan a little shake, which will help to level it off. And I'm going to put that into the oven and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. It won't be fully cooked at that stage, but it will have firmed up sufficiently that we'll be able to put our butter cake batter on top of it and level it off. And I'll be back to do the butter cake mixture while the brownie layer is baking. For the butter cake mixture, I have 156 grams of butter, which is 11 tablespoons. I have my 130 grams of egg, which I mentioned earlier. I have 125 grams, which is 5/8 of a cup of caster sugar, or granulated sugar is fine. And I have 156 grams, which is 2 cups of plain flour. Or 2 cups, just slightly over 2 cups of plain flour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sugar and the butter into my bowl, and I'm going to cream that together. And the butter is softened. So I want to cream that till it's nice and fluffy. And with that nice and fluffy, I'm going to add in my egg mixture, my beaten eggs, and I'm going to mix that slowly at first, but mix it till it's combined. Now it may curdle, but that doesn't matter because it will all smooth out again when the flour goes in. So that's nicely combined. So what I'm going to do now is to put the flour in as well, and I'm going to fold that in. Making sure to go to the bottom of the bowl so that any flour that sinks gets incorporated. And then that's ready to go onto our brownie once it's been cooking for about 20 minutes. Our brownie mixture has baked for 20 minutes and it's still soft, and I've actually put these little clips on just to hold the paper down for a moment they won't go into the oven, of course. And so what we need to do is to put our batter in and spread that around. And I have reduced the heat of my oven to 160 Celsius, that's 140 Celsius with a fan, 320 Fahrenheit, and that's to bake the cake batter. So I'm just going to spread that around, and then I'm going to bake that in the oven for between 30 and 35 minutes, and I'll test it with a skewer to see that it comes out clean. Then I'll take it out and let it cool down, and I'll come back and show you the results. The brownie butter cake has now cooled down almost completely. It's still just a little bit warm, and I've sliced it, and this is what it looks like. So it baked quite well, and I baked the butter cake part, once that went into the oven, for 35 minutes, and then I tested it with a skewer, and so I'll have a taste of it. It does taste very good. You have the two different textures. You have the sort of fudgy brownie chocolate taste, and then the light butter cake as well. It tastes very good indeed. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I should apologise if the sound has been a bit variable. I noticed when I replayed one little part earlier that there seemed to be a little bit of a fan or something going. I've changed one of the cameras to supposedly a better camera, and I'm just getting used to it, so it will take me a little bit of time to get used to it, but hopefully it won't interfere too much with the video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me the thumbs up below it and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, which will take you to this recipe, and I'll put a link to it below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future, so until then, happy baking.